So there was definitely a level of intrigue with this film, but I guess I still can't wrap my head around what I just watched. But I'm here to talk about it. So let's jump into my review of the new film, It's a Wonderful Knife. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're going to be reviewing the new film, It's a Wonderful Knife, which is streaming right now on Shudder. So I am late to getting this review out, but I had to talk about it because, man, if you are still in the spooky season mindset and trying to transition into the Christmas holiday, this film fits right in the middle for you, giving you a little bit of both. But the biggest thing with this film is if you love a good slasher, well, here you go. Because, man, I'm going to tell you right now, in the first 15 minutes of this film, they cut right to the chase. It really does. And it's built like a traditional slasher where you have a slasher who's on the loose who's loose in the town, and then they build the suspicion up in terms of who is the killer. Much like Scream, they give you all these folks that seem overly suspicious to the point that you got your detective hat on, you're pretty sure it's that person, then that person's debunked, then it's that person, then it's that person, then it's that person. So yes, much like the classics, the great classics, should we say, in slasher films, well, yeah, this one starts to make his claim for that. Now, I won't go as far as saying that this film is amongst the elites, but I definitely think this film has some enjoyable factors in terms of watching it. One being Justin Long. I mean, I gotta be honest, I think this dude has so much fun in this film. It's just ridiculous. He's just really great. Really great in this film. And then our lead in Jane Widdop, who plays the character Winnie, who basically saves the town from the killer. And everything should be great until a year later afterwards, it really hasn't. Imagine being the savior of the town and you didn't get your reparations for it at all. They're kind of just like, whatever. To the point that like she's really suffering, like to the point of her wishing she was never born. And she just realizes that she may not be in her original universe. She's in like a parallel dimension of things, which is interesting because everybody loves the multiverse story. So the fact that this gives you a little bit of that as well is interesting. But like I said, Winnie, who's our victim, is suffering for what happened a year before that. This killer, the slasher, the angel is what they're calling it, is on the loose. And when she thought she had completed the mission, saving the town, only to find out a year later that, well, maybe not. And again, this film builds such a high level of suspicion about who the killer is. You're pointing the finger in all different directions. And yes, some folks definitely put themselves in the forefront of the line, only to find out that it truly may or may not be them. But you'll see when you watch it. But I will say this though, even though she's in another timeline where she doesn't exist, things aren't even going what they seem there as well too. And I think it sort of becomes like a game of cat and mouse, almost like Scooby-Doo, minus the fact that like we know who the killer is pretty early. Scooby-Doo to kind of wait to the end of reveal. But that's okay, because even on the likes of Scooby-Doo, which is overly popular, it is very predictable. It is campy. It is corny. And I also think that the film doesn't even follow its own rules at time. Like, it kind of just makes its own way. There's certain things kind of set up in the film in terms of how things should work, in terms of the operation of with the killer, the angel, and it's sort of just its victims or targets or whatever it may be. It kind of goes off the limb with that a little bit here. But that's okay. I'm not mad at it at all because, again, as I mentioned, the film is predictable, campy, and corny. And with that, you just rip the Band-Aid off and you just kind of do whatever you want to do. And I think they do that in a way that's fun. And then again, when you have performances from folks like Justin, who's just really good in this. Joel McHale is great in this as well too. There's definitely some other names that just kind of keeps your eyes glued to them in the film. But I laughed at times. I jumped at times that I wasn't expecting to jump. But nonetheless, I watched this one through the entire time and just was engaged. It definitely has some moments that just keeps your eyes peeled the entire time. And it's a little brutal at times. The slasher, man, I gotta tell you, man, he kind of does his thing. I like the design, definitely unique. You can tell there's minor inspiration there, but I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. The Angel, should we say. But check out It's a Wonderful Knife. It is available right now on Shudder. Its own unique little twist to this Christmas classic. I ain't mad at it at all. But yeah, jump in the comments, folks. Let me know your thoughts about it. And as always, stay tuned for more reviews very soon.